We did our own turkey for Thanksgiving. We bought a full-grown turkey that was somebody's 4-H project, and that was a little bit. You didn't tell them what you were doing with it, right? Well, and most people when they get into this,
it was like November 20th. I think they
figured it out. And when you get into this mindset, and like what we tell our boys, you know, we give these animals a great life, and then when it's done, it's for our own benefit. So yeah, the turkey was a little bit more.
No, for like
blah, blah, blah.
For a rabbit, you know, you can hold it by its ears. You know, when it's hanging there, you hold it down and you slice it, and it's gonna be very calm. With the turkey, I learned just because it was hanging by its feet, and I pulled its neck down and cut it, and I tried to like keep it at bay. Because you don't want the turkey's wings are very powerful, and you don't want it to hit something as it's flapping around and break a bone. So I was trying to hold it there and keep it, but it was it moved around a lot, and it did squirt and spray a lot. So there's probably a better way to keep a turkey. You know, for chickens, they make processing cones. You can literally take an orange road cone. You can take a Clorox bottle and just open the top so that.
Empty.
That's what we did in the desert, didn't we? We had a Clorox bottle. And we cut the top off of it, and it was like a cone shaped, and we hammered it into a board. And as soon as you put that chicken upside down or a turkey upside down into there,
the cone, it's like it just holds still. And then its head pulls through, and you can cut that there, and there's a lot less commotion going on with it. So there's, you know, you might end up with some pants and stuff that you can't wear to work the next day.
I was telling her it's so much better than the way my parents did it when we were younger, which was like wringing the turkey's neck and like the chicken's neck. And I remember not being weirded out at all because the same thing you said. That's why we raised them, and they would, that was.
Would they really run around like a chicken with its head cut off?
Well,
like kind of thing? Or?
After it dropped, it was just a little floppy. That's all I remember. Floppy.
About the kindergarten thing with Colt and the turtle.
Oh yeah. So
just an example.
Just an example, because like I said, going into it, and when we were talking about like chopping up the chickens and stuff, I didn't know how squeamish people would be. But one of the bigger reasons why we started doing this is because in Palm Desert, somebody gave us turtles, and we had them in our bathtub, and then we'd let them go in our pool.
When word gets out you've got chickens, people will give you everything that they
Yeah.
Turtles, they'll take turtles.
Oh yeah, they'll take turtles. Hey, you want this?
Yeah, frogs.
Yeah. And so we had these turtles, and we'd go to the pet store and buy goldfish, and you know, let them swim around. And the turtles, my kids would love watching the turtles eat the goldfish, and it was so fun. Like, oh, they almost got it. They almost got it. And so that was just kind of like, ooh, a fun thing. Like, look what we got at the store here. Let's watch the turtles eat the goldfish. And so Colt was in preschool, or my son was in preschool at the time, and in preschool they have a letter of the week that they work on, and their letter that week was tea. And I asked the teacher, I said, hey, I have turtles at home. Like, we could, if you want, I could bring in turtles. And I was telling her, you know, it's really fun to watch him like eat the goldfish swimming around. And the teacher just freaked out. She goes, no, don't do that. I mean, maybe bring the turtle in when it's full after he's eaten.
All of a sudden, this carnage of seeing it eat a goldfish is
I know, it's just going to ruin this kid's life or something. And now, I mean, we go from that to, I didn't watch the first rooster be killed, and my son didn't either. But, you know, Nathan would start bringing in this dead rabbit on a cutting board kind of a thing, and my son looks at, what's that? And now he's just like, he goes out there and watches him shoot him and guts him with him and everything. So
it helps me, and, you know, they learn, and their friends come over, if their friends are visiting from Palm Desert, and, like, they won't even go in the chicken area. You know what I mean? Like, they're like, thinking it's going to attack them and kill them, you know. And my boy's like, no, he's just a chicken, you know. And it is. There's a really neat level of learning that they don't get at school, or they don't get it, you know, that they get firsthand with some of that stuff. So it's kind of neat.
I kind of want to move on to gardening.
Yeah. Okay. You guys had a gardening class not too long ago, I think. So we'll be...
sadly we have like 7 to 10 minutes.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So
well,
Yeah, we just talked about soil mostly with gardening.
Okay.
Okay, well, one of our main points tonight is that anybody can do any of this, because we didn't know what we were doing. We had like tiny little fuzzy chicks in a box, and then we were hungry, and we went through the drive-through of McDonald's like with these chickens in a box thinking, oh, what are we going to do? And here we are on this big farm. And so, not a big farm, but anyway, my point is anybody can just start with something, anything. And it's not... it's not something that's not doable. So with
gardening, there's always a grocery store. If none of your garden stuff pops up, we're not going to starve yet. You know what I'm saying? We've got Walmart or whatever you go to, you know. Same with a lot of the animals. You learn, you try, but it's not like it's do or die right now. It's a good time to figure out what works and what doesn't work, you know.
We had huge success with our garden. We just read, okay, so gardening, if you've read stuff about it or if you've talked to people, it can be so overwhelming, like, oh, how do I plant the seed? When do I plant it? I don't get it.
What's the pH level of the soil and all that sort of stuff?
It can
very
be
overwhelming.
So confusing. And the thing that I loved is that I went to the gardening center up in Anza, and there was this woman there that was helping me, and she says, you know what, I've done gardening for 30 years and I still don't get it. I'm like, oh my gosh, okay. So it's not this thing that you, like there's a perfect way of doing it. So we just started out, we bought these seeds online, and there you go. The online seed company had like user reviews of like, these are the best tomato seeds, these are the best zucchini seeds. So yeah, we were out there, oh, it was funny, we were out there one day like, you know, getting our land ready for the garden and like, you know, plowing it and all that. And we were wondering when the seeds were going to come in because we bought them online. And all of a sudden the UPS truck shows up and we go, yeah, our seeds are in.
It's like me and Melissa, the two boys were running towards the gate. The guy's got a box of seeds. He's like, well, I can't imagine what he's thinking.
Yeah, I can't imagine what he's thinking.
So happy for these seeds.
It takes a lot of work to get like the land ready. But we went into it with a huge plot of...
We did an area that was 60 by 100, which was a big area. And everyone should start small, right? I'm like, well, 10 acres, 60 by 100, that's small. Is a lot. Okay, it was a bit much.
You don't have to start off that.
But I mean, you know, the basics of it were you had soft soil, you know, not hard. You had fertilizer in there. You tried to, you know, we can't.
And we put our cow manure in there, and it was great fertilizer.
As long as the manure has had some time to age, and a lot of the nutrients that are still in there aren't going to grow once you plant that. You know, you don't want fresh manure because weeds will grow out of there. But
really, the seeds do their own thing, just like animals. They need soil and water, and they'll grow.
Find things you want to eat that you're going to want to can. You know, we had so much butternut squash this year, and we don't need a lot of butternut squash. But
a lot of it went to the pigs and cows.
Oh yeah, you know, works out that way. But
this was our first attempt at gardening ever, and this is my son basically swimming in the cucumbers, looking for cucumbers. And that was the very first time we planted a seed. It just happened. It just came up. So you can do it.
You want to make sure you don't plant them too deep. You know, you can read all this stuff. It'll tell you how deep you plant them. And if you plant a lot and only some make it, you'll learn a little bit about which one, you know.
That's what I recommend too, is like, since we did buy the seeds online.
That picture's adorable.
Oh, thanks. That's another benefit. My kids were fighting over the fresh corn in the garden and the fresh cucumbers in the garden and the carrots. Digging up the carrots. Can we eat it? Yeah, just go wash it off with the hose. Okay. So you just get fresh. And as a mom, I'm like, yay, he's eating like this fresh stuff. So that was the thing is, we didn't buy seeds at the store, and I guess at the store they come in the little tiny packets, and next year you got to go out and buy them again. Well, online, and I don't know, people here have probably bought them online. They come in like a quarter-pound package, and a quarter of a pound comes with like thousands of seeds in it, because like carrot seeds are tiny, and you have this. So it's nice to be able to know that you can plant a ton, and if some of them make it, some
and you want to go with heirloom. If you have a choice, I mean, it probably was discussed, but heirlooms will, you can literally open up that cucumber, take the seeds out, let them dry out, and those seeds you can plant next year and not even get into your bag, you know. The place we bought them from, it was like a Ziploc, it was like a metallic bag, and so you open it up and you take out the seeds you needed and you zip it up and you keep it in a cool place, and you've got a lot of seeds. You know, instead of going and buying for $1.29, 1/8 of an ounce of, you know, cucumber seeds, for like $5, you've got a pound of cucumber seeds you'll never use, you know. And
what site was that? Do you remember?
mvseeds.com.
MV?
M as in Mary.
V.
Yeah. It stands for Mountain Valley Seed Company. So
it's based out of Salt Lake, I think.
Yeah.
Mountain Valley
Seeds. You
Seeds.
purchased from them once, and now you have your own seeds, and you've gone through the process of planting those, and you have results from those seeds.
Oh
yeah.
Okay.
This garden came from there, and we didn't preserve a lot of the seeds this time, but you because they're all heirloom, you can. We had so many, we barely even like take a bag full of sand and then sprinkle 50. There was so much left. We didn't do any of that, but it's
planted
possible.
like 1,000 seeds and stuff just by like putting them in the ground, blah blah blah. And yeah, we'll never have to buy seeds again, really.